one of the best receivers in the country, had a dark secret.
Kayshon Boutte is in some serious trouble with the law. FanDuel contacted police to report a possible college athlete making bets under aliases.
8,900 bets.
More than 22 bets a day.
He bet himself in the over of 82.5 yards and to score a touchdown.
It led to over $500,000 in winnings.
Was it hard to admit or come forward that needed help at the time?
So how did he go from illegal betting to the Super Bowl? It all starts at LSU, when the five-star was breaking records as a true freshman, going for 308 yards, the most in SEC history.
It's a good feeling knowing that I set an SEC record as young as I am, 18 years old.
But the next season, his life changed forever.
Boutte, what a catch by Kayshon Boutte. He is shaken up on the sideline.
It's your best player for LSU. Coach O knows it.
Kayshon Boutte will not play again for the Tigers this season.
All of a sudden, Kayshon's world collapsed. He went from the top of the world to rock bottom. And in Kayshon's own words, I started doing drugs. Then I think I sank into a depression. So how do you escape when none of the escape routes are working? How do you get that feeling back of competing? You start gambling, and it got bad fast, to a point he couldn't stop. First thing in the morning, he'd bet. Last thing before sleeping, he'd bet. He'd wake up in the middle of the night, grab his phone, and bet. It got lonely. He was in his own world and lost control of time. He'd be laying in bed, phone lights shining on his face, adding more money with just a couple of buttons. It didn't even feel real. And every time he'd lose, he couldn't stop.
When you win, it's always a good feeling, but when you lose, it's always that feeling to get it back. So I think it's just a repeating cycle, day in, day out.
Because gambling wasn't about the money, it was about the dream. Kayshon was always a dreamer. As a kid, he dreamed about being a star receiver at LSU, and he made it happen. But in the gambling world, that ability to dream worked against him. Every time he wanted to quit, he'd think, what if I quit just before I was about to win it all? 100K, 300K, 500K. What if I'd win it all and I'd be on a boat somewhere living off it? Why not? That could be me. That optimistic mindset kept him locked in. He lived paycheck to paycheck, waiting for his NIL checks to clear. Every penny he'd earn would go straight to FanDuel. However, there was some light at the end of the tunnel, because Kayshon was done rehabbing his foot and made it back to the football field. Nobody had any idea about his gambling addiction, at least for now. So to the outside world, the best receiver in college football was back, and he was honored with a special jersey.
The number 7, for those who don't know, is just the tradition leader of the team. Kind of always wanted to wear it, but to know that my dream actually came true was a great feeling.
In week 1, they faced Florida State, and all eyes were on number 7. But it was a disappointment. Kayshon finished with just 2 catches for 20 yards. But what surprised people most was his reaction.
And then afterwards, deleting most LSU-related things from his social media.
There's a lesson when you're number 7 at LSU, Wendy, and there's some pressure that comes with that. And I think this is a moment of learning for Kayshon Boutte as he deals with the expectations of being the best player at LSU and being one of the best receivers projected in the upcoming NFL draft.
At the time, nobody really understood what was going on. And after that, the season started slipping away. There was a new top receiver, Malik Neighbors. So Boutte's numbers dropped significantly, finishing with just 538 yards and 2 touchdowns. But off the field, his life was changing too, because Kayshon became a father.
Knowing that you got a kid that following your footsteps, it kind of changed your whole mindset. When I was in college at the time, I had a Hellcat, I had a track hawk, I was into the speed racing on the highway, switching lanes. That was honestly me, and it took me having a kid for me to be like, all right, it's really time for me to change my lifestyle.
It was time for a fresh start. So he declared for the NFL draft. Still not fully healthy, he went to the combine anyway. And it showed.
His numbers over the weekend were astoundingly bad. Not only did Kayshon, without question, lose out on first, second, third round type status and money, he may have moved himself to the back end of the draft and raised a ton of red flags.
So in the 2023 NFL draft, The receiver, who once was a first-round lock, found himself in the 6th round, hoping for a shot, and one franchise pulled the trigger.
With the 187th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select
Kayshon Boutte, wide receiver, LSU.
The first goal was to make the team, so he had to show up in the preseason.
Wow, what a catch! Look at him fly for 6. Boutte!
He made the roster, and suddenly people called him the steal of the draft. But in the regular season, Kayshon struggled to make an impact. After dropping some passes in week 1, he was benched and finished his rookie year with just 2 catches for 19 yards. It was a tough year, and being a 6th-round receiver playing for Bill Belichick wasn't easy. To the point, Kayshon thought about walking away from the game of football. But in 2024, the organization made some changes. Belichick was out, and Gerard Mayo took over. A fresh start. But that offseason, his past finally caught up to him, and his gambling was revealed to the public.
Kayshon Boutte is in some serious trouble with the law over allegations of gambling while he was underage and while he was playing college ball. FanDuel contacted police to report a possible college athlete making bets under aliases, one of them his mother's.
And he placed, you're probably thinking, what's 1 or 2 bets going to hurt somebody?
8,900 bets. That's not the amount of teams he bet on. Like, he didn't have 100-leg parlay, and that counts as 100.
No.
Each bet individual. 8,900 bets.
In 397 days, more than 22 bets a day. He made at least 17 bets on college football games, including at least 6 on LSU.
And according to WAFB in Baton Rouge, it led to over $500,000 in winnings, with majority of the money being used to make additional wagers. He wasn't really exactly secretive about it either.
His username to place these illegal bets was Kayshon Boutte. He was placing so many bets that account couldn't handle it, so he had to get another account. Guess what this one was? Kayshon Boutte 01.
I think his NFL career is probably over, which kind of sucks. I mean, I was thinking about this. He was a 5-star in the class of 2020. It's 2024, and his career probably is over.
Kayshon later admitted that he had gambled nearly $90,000 of his own money and lost it all. But allegedly, there was one bet that explained a lot.
He bet on himself in that Florida State game, which was the season opener, not just this past season, but 2 seasons ago. That was at the Superdome. He bet himself in the over of 82.5 yards and to score a touchdown. And you could tell he was pissed. Well, as it turns out, I think our guy was just trying to hit his over.
I felt like when I was getting everything back going in my life, then the gambling stuff came back and caught up. So I had to go back to Louisiana, turn myself in, had to deal with that, kind of not knowing how things would go from here.
But just as his career was falling apart, he got a second chance.
That's right. First reported by ESPN this afternoon, those charges against Kayshon Boutte for underage gambling and computer fraud have been dropped by the state of Louisiana.
3-4 years ago, I wasn't in the best position. I think a lot of off the field stuff, I kind of look at myself like I've been through a lot. And I feel like I'm finally getting back together and everything coming good.
The Patriots didn't give up on him, and Kayshon wanted to repay that trust. So heading into year 2, he tried to leave the past behind and prove he belonged in his league.
Drake made time and distance going, and he's gone! Boutte touchdown! May timing around in the air, it is caught! What a grab! Boutte touchdown! Coming down with it, another one down the sideline. Kayshon Boutte, Milton again. Boutte wide open. It's a 48-yard strike.
He went from 2 catches for 19 yards as a rookie to 589 yards and 3 touchdowns in year 2. But for the team, it was a tough year because the Patriots finished 4-13. So heading into 2025, the Patriots brought in another head coach, Mike Vrabel. And in training camp, Boutte showed he was ready to take that next step.
Kayshon's someone that I know personally I'm very proud of. Had some success earlier in college. Maybe his last year in college wasn't what he'd hoped it would be. Didn't do a ton his rookie year. Had some production last year, but left some plays on the field as well. And he's really becoming a pro here in year 3, and we're excited about where he can go.
And in week 1, things finally started clicking.
May again, but a throw towards the end zone, and it is caught. threatening. May takes a shot down the field. It's Boutte.
I say everybody go through stuff, you know. The hard times is always gonna get better. Just keep your head down, keep on working. I promise you it'll get better.
May going for the corner of the end zone to Boutte. Diving attempt, and he's got it.
I think he's just gotten better, and just you see the confidence that Drake has with him.
May taking a deep shot down the field. Boutte is down there. Touchdown. One. Settle. Bam.
Throwing for the end zone, and back there, the catch is made.
Here's one to the end zone, and Kayshon Boutte.
Kayshon Boutte is one of the most improved players in the NFL this year.
Kayshon was making plays, and the Patriots were flying into the playoffs as the number 2 seed in the AFC. First up, the LA Chargers, where Boutte did his thing. 4 receptions for 66 yards, helping the Pats get the W. But next up was a monster defense, the Houston Texans, who had one of the best DBs in the NFL, Derek Stingley Jr., and Boutte was ready for that challenge.
May steps into it, takes a shot downfield. And caught for the touchdown, Kayshon Boutte.
Outstanding catch by Kayshon Boutte. That's some of the things that we've seen from him throughout this season in what has been a breakout year.
Can't do it any better than number 9 did right there.
That has to be catch of the year. Oh my God.
Obviously, we know it was on Sting. Caught a same deep ball on him last year, same corner, the end zone, same go route. That's a ball everybody dream of, a catch everybody dream of in a big moment.
He keeps on making them. You know, he keeps on making plays, making me look good, and I'm just props to Kayshon for keep on playing. He was huge for us tonight.
In the AFC Championship, the Patriots beat out the Broncos, and Kayshon Boutte was headed to the Super Bowl, where they faced the Seattle Seahawks, who eventually beat the Patriots, becoming Super Bowl champions. But for Kayshon, it was still an amazing season. Proof he could still be the player people once believed in. And most importantly, he opened up about his story, shedding a light on the severity of gambling addiction.
The gambling situation, got over that. I think that was a big learning experience for me. Just knowing how fast things can change in an instant. Since then, just really trying to better my life. So.
Big shout out to Kayshon Boutte and the Players Tribune for sharing his story. I linked the full article in my description. I definitely recommend reading it. Gambling addiction is a real thing. It's no joke. It can really ruin your life. So guys, please be careful. If you're struggling, you're not alone. Please talk to others and please seek help. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe so I can make more of these. See you at the next one. Have a blessed day.